They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are 2 busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that all is well with you and yours in your world since the last opportunity we had to spend a little time with you at the end of last week. Guys, girls, I have been chomping at the bit to get back in this chair. At the conclusion of last week's final show, I had an epiphany. It was an epiphany / confirmation / affirmation of something that I really kind of already knew, but it was revealed for all of us to see. In the last commercial break, I just happened to look up at one of the monitors here at Bayou Smokehouse. And here is a well-known liberal going off on people that won't wear a mask or get the vaccine. And of course, he proceeded to call my fellow Americans who won't wear a mask or get the vaccine morons, idiots, science deniers, unpatriotic, selfish SOBs that don't give a hoot about the health, safety, or well-being of their fellow Americans. In that same commercial break, I happened to see a crawl at the bottom of the screen where the CDC revealed the highest percentages of groups of people, our fellow Americans, that have vaccine hesitancy. Now, you've seen it. You've seen Hollywood and the entertainment industry call people who won't take the shot idiots, morons, Arnold Schwarzenegger, schmucks, and on and on and on. You've seen social media, the worst of them, call those who won't get the shot idiots, morons, science deniers, all kinds of ugly names. You've heard the Democrats / liberals / progressives call our fellow Americans all sorts of ugly names. Then it occurred to me, you do realize the number one group, according to Hollywood, of morons, idiots, and unpatriotic Americans, the number, according to social media, of morons and idiots, the Democrats, according to them, the number one group of morons and idiots that won't take the shot, they're Democrats. Oh, and did I mention they're all black? The Centers for Disease Control have announced the number one group, statistically, of people in this country that won't take the shot are members of their own party. According to the left, the CDC says, depending on where you go, the numbers vary anywhere from 60 to 75% of black people, Democrats, don't want and ain't gonna get the shot. English teachers, forgive me, I didn't give y'all the heads up. But in the meantime, in the city of New York, the largest city in America, only 28% of black people have taken the shot, which means, if you extrapolate the numbers, 72% of black folks in New York are morons, idiots, unpatriotic schmucks who don't care about the health, safety, or well-being of their fellow Americans. Now imagine, if you will, imagine if a conservative called 2/3 to 3/4 of the entire black population of the United States of America morons, idiots, unpatriotic schmucks. Imagine what the reaction would be. But these are the people you hold in highest esteem. Hollywood. These are the people you rely on, mainstream media, for your information. These are the people, social media, you get your other information from. And more important, these are the people you vote for, black people. They're calling you morons, idiots, and every other ugly name in the book. Now, if it weren't bad enough, the vitriol, the downright nastiness of calling you outside of your name, questioning your intelligence, impugning your integrity, it's not bad enough for Democrats that they're talking about members of their own party. It's not bad enough that they're talking about 3/4 of the entire black race in this country. But they're talking about arguably the most loyal part of their base. Let me show you how they play you. The Democrats used this situation to pursue their unbridled hatred of one man, Donald Trump. They framed this so that you would think, well, they're only talking about them Trump supporters. They're only talking about them MAGA people. They're the ones won't get the shot. Them people are morons. Well, now we come to find out, black folk, they talking about you. The next time you hear somebody from Hollywood calling people that won't get the shot morons, idiots, selfish SOBs, unpatriotic, science deniers. Black people, no, they talking about you, Hoss. The number one group of people that will not take this shot are black folks / Democrats. You didn't realize, did you? They've been talking about you. Arnold Schwarzenegger epitomizes the doublespeak and the hypocrisy of these people. You know what's really troubling about this? Aside from you calling our fellow Americans 3/4 of one whole race, all these ugly names, aside from that, it's coming from the people that would have you believe they can smell racism from 100 miles away. This hatred, this calling black folks en masse morons and idiots, and other words that I can't use on TV, these are the people that turn right around and tell you it's the white supremacists you need to be concerned about. Now, if all this weren't bad enough, if it wasn't bad enough that you used an opportunity to demonize people, insult people, castigate people, call them all sorts of ugly names, even though they're members of your party, if that weren't bad enough, now they want to use this to take away your rights, your liberties, and your freedoms. I guess it never occurred to them that all these black folks that don't want, here we go, English teachers, 3, 2, 1, and ain't gonna get that shot, maybe they're not morons or idiots or unpatriotic. Maybe they are simply holding on to the rights guaranteed them as American citizens, that they can be protected from a government forcing something on them, and in this case, forcing something in them. Arnold Schwarzenegger, in the same interview where he called you black folks, where he called you schmucks, in that same interview, they asked him, well, what do you think about vaccine mandates? Should the government be able to, shut down a business or not allow you to go to a certain business if you don't have the shot? You know what he said? I understand, y'all like your personal freedoms and whatnot, but here it comes. Screw your freedom. You heard me right. Arnold Schwarzenegger said, and I quote, "Screw your freedom." Now, Arnold, I'm going to help you out because obviously you don't know. So let me inform you, Arnold. Relatively speaking, black folks in this country just got their freedom not that long ago. And we'll be damned if we're going to let you or anybody else take it away from us, particularly regarding a virus that if we don't have coexisting morbidities, we've got a greater than 99% survivability rate. And if we get it, the majority of us won't even know we had it. So no, Arnold, It's not screw my freedoms, it's screw you. That's the name of that tune, son. Can you believe this clown? Screw your freedom. Nah, Arnold, screw you. These are the same people that supposedly, allegedly, are social justice warriors, and we can spot the systemic problems and nature of racism. You know, in hindsight, they might be right. What you have yet to realize is they are the real white supremacists. Screw your freedom. Of course, now, that could well be why folks in Hollywood, social media, ABC, CBS, NBC, MS, LSD, CNN, LOL, and CBS, maybe now you start to realize, all that ugly stuff they're talking about me. Just so you know. Just so you know. What's really going to be interesting to watch is once you realize what they're doing to you, once you realize the people you thought they were talking about are actually you, it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. September 13th, the vaccine mandate in the largest city in the United States of America kicks in. New York City. Come September 13th, 72% of black people in the largest city in America will not be able to go and have dinner in a restaurant unless they allow the government to stick something in them that they don't want, or unless they can show their papers. Across the length and breadth of this grand republic of ours, anywhere from 2/3 to 3/4 of all black folk in this country won't be able to go to a gymnasium and work out, won't be able to go to an entertainment venue if this spreads from New York. And you know who's going to be hurt the most by it? Black folk, who just so happen to be the most loyal Democrats there are. I'm late for my first break. I had to get that off my chest, y'all, because when it hit me, it occurred to me. This is arguably, and they will tell you it's unintentional. We didn't really mean to call all black people morons. We were talking about we were talking about Trump supporters. Oh, you're talking about conservatives. Yeah, you know, oh, they're mostly white. Be careful, don't let your racism show. So you were talking about mostly white people are morons and idiots and selfish SOBs that don't give a hoot about the health, safety, and well-being of their fellow Americans. And it just so happens it's more black than it is white, statistically. Funny how that works out, isn't it? When we come back, I'm going to take you back to your childhood. We're going to talk about that kid when we come back. That's next on today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Go where summer leads you in an award-winning Mazda CUV. Find yours during Mazda's season of discovery.
Call, click, or come by and discover your new Mazda today at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I am going in chronological order of revelation sorts of things since the last time I had the opportunity to talk with you. Obviously, if you grew up in this country and you played ball, let's just say baseball, as a kid, t-ball, little league, what have you. Even if you didn't play ball, you were just a parent of a kid that played ball. You know that just about on every team, certainly in every league, there was that kid that was horrible. That kid couldn't hit, couldn't run, couldn't catch. And the harder that kid tried, bless his little old heart, the harder he tried, the worse he looked. That kid, you know the one I'm talking about. You can remember to this day who that kid was. The kid that was so bad, he could screw up at the plate a pitch out. All right, look, we got the base open. Let's walk him. We can turn a double. We can turn two, and we'll get out of the inning. So walk him. So the catcher stands a foot or so outside the plate with his hand out here. The pitch comes 3 feet off the plate, 3 feet over the head of that kid. And what does he do? That kid jumps across the plate to swing wildly at a pitch that's 3 feet off the plate and 3 feet over his head. A pitch out, giving him a walk. In jumping across the plate to swing at the pitch, he swings so wildly, he loses control of the bat that flies into the dugout and takes out 3 of his own players. That kid. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, y'all, but that kid is now in the White House. He is driving the bus. Thank you, Marty. That kid is now the leader of the free world. In 7.5 months, every single pitch that has come the way of the Biden administration while at the bat, not only did they completely miss the pitch, they missed it horribly. Let's keep inflation in check as we restart the economy. Swing and a miss. Oh, and he's down in the dirt. Let's do something about the exploding crime problem all across America. A swing and a miss. Oh, and he's on his face in the dirt. The southern border crisis. Swing and a miss. And down goes Frazier. That's just for you, Coach. And now, well, don't forget about COVID. A swing and a miss. And now, Afghanistan. Remember when you were a kid growing up and you got caught doing something you had no business doing? You knew it was wrong. Your parents had told you, don't do this, but you did it anyway and you got caught. And when it was come to Jesus time, when we were about to dispense the corporal punishment for said offense, remember your parents telling you, son, I'm not punishing you for what you did. I'm punishing you because of the way you did it. Remember that? Now, Joe Biden and his administration will have you think, well, I stand by my decision to get out because Americans don't want us over there fighting the war. And you would be right. There's a sizable percentage of Americans that don't want us there. But our problem, Mr. President, is not with you pulling out. Our problem is the way you did it. This guy, just last month, told us in no uncertain terms. Matter of fact, when the reporter posed the question, he had the gall to be somewhat indignant. No, this is not going to be a Saigon. And I'm going to tell you why it won't be a Saigon. And then he proceeded to list for us the reasons why there was no way possible this was going to be like Saigon. Well, first of all, understand something. This is not the NVA. This is not the People's Army of North Vietnam. We have trained these people. We have given them the most advanced weaponry on the planet, and they are 300,000 strong. There is no scenario where our exit from Afghanistan will remotely resemble what happened in Saigon. Then he tells us during the address that we took into account every contingency. You mean except the one contingency we're watching unfold in front of our very eyes right now? Well, see, what happened was, now, if that weren't bad enough, just for good measure, our president throws in, well, the buck stops with me. Prior to and immediately after that statement, the buck stops with me, he then proceeds to blame everybody else but himself, and to sprinkle a little bit of insult spice on this poop Sunday. He'd already been MIA for 4 days as all this unfolded. Vice President, nowhere to be found. And just so happens the official White House spokesperson is on vacation and offline for the week. If all this weren't bad enough, after 4 days, he pops up at the White House, flies in on Marine One, makes a 10-minute statement, doesn't answer a single question from the media, gets back on Marine One, and leaves. Mr. President, it's not about what you did, it's about how you did it. Let me ask you something. Where you work, or where you used to work, maybe you're retired, if there was a problem facing the company, problem big enough to where not the boss, but the owner called a meeting, brought everybody in the room, and after thanking y'all for sticking with the company, acknowledging we've got a major problem here, and the owner told you, but I want you to know the buck stops with me. And after making that statement, the owner then turned and left. What would you think? I can see it now. I can see it now. 2 black women in the workforce for this company are sitting there. One of them's raising her hand as he turns and walks out the door and says, Mr. Wright, can I ask you a question? Child, he gone. Wait a minute, what you mean he's gone? He just said the buck stops with him. I got a question. Girl, he gone. He don't care about you. The buck stops with me. But you didn't answer a single question. It's ironic how these things unfold. Just last week, I did a segment entitled, Who's in Charge? And I questioned, are the inmates running the asylum? Do we have official government agencies or government in general where the least qualified people are the ones that are in charge? You know, there's a correlation between these two stories today. The demonizing of my fellow Americans by the left for those that will not take the COVID shot, the number one group of which happen to be Democrats / black people. And that guy, okay, that kid that we were talking about, there's a direct correlation here. Joe Biden told us in no uncertain terms on just last month what we could expect to unfold. And at the time, they had to acknowledge, did the Defense Department, well, there is a window of time that we need to be concerned about. If the unlikely remote possibility that the Taliban were to go through a resurgence when we leave, we need to be concerned after we leave about the first 30 to 90 days. It took them 10. It took them 10. Now, as I mentioned, this administration has swung and missed horribly on every pitch they've faced in 7 months. Border crisis, swing and a miss. Stemming the crime problem, sweeping the country, swing and a miss. COVID, swing and a miss. Southern border, getting the crisis under control, swing and a miss. And now Afghanistan, swing and a miss. You know what occurred to me? This really shouldn't surprise us all that much. You know why? Remember when then President Barack Obama threw out a first pitch at a professional baseball game? Remember that? The most girly man pitch you have ever seen in your life. Dude threw like a girl. So I guess it stands to reason if the number one guy throws like a girl, his second in command probably can't hit either. Just saying. Just saying. If your boss throws like a girly man and he puts you second in command, you probably can't throw either. We know you can't hit because you've missed every freaking pitch that's come across the plate since you've been in charge. Is this what you voted for? Is it? Now, sadly, this is not Little League, y'all. This is not Little League. This ain't T-ball. This ain't sandlot ball. People's freaking lives are at stake. We're not talking baseball. People's lives are at stake. Not to mention the goodwill and the trust of our allies around the world. And yet, the Nancy Pelosi's of the world will put out a statement commending Joe Biden's leadership. Guess they figure you don't know any better, schmucks. I guess we should thank Arnold Schwarzenegger, because black folk didn't even know they could be schmucks. You know now, don't you? Arnold cleared all that up. And while we're at it, screw your freedom. Starting to see a pattern here? Just a question. Let me get this break out of the way. We got to talk more, y'all, and we'll do it next, right where you got it, on the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Sit tight.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back for a final segment. No. Oh, okay. You could have just taken me on up, but that's okay. I can work with that. Split the difference. Cool. Tough, but it's fair. You know, having grown up in a military household with my late father wearing the uniform of the United States Army for 27 years, I have a special affinity for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice and those that are willing to do that. And this situation unfolding in Afghanistan is particularly horrible for any number of reasons, but for me, one of them in particular. President Biden, after spending the bulk of his time in the address to the nation, defending his decision to withdraw from Afghanistan, neglected to mention the 6,000 troops he is sending back to facilitate evacuations. What really bothers a lot of Americans is the number of our fellow American servicemen and women that will now face bullets and bombs when they return to Afghanistan that the American taxpayer public paid for. Do you have any idea how many weapons of war that you paid for have been abandoned, confiscated, and in many cases handed over to the Taliban? Did you know that there were Black Hawk helicopters just left to be taken? Fortunately, a lot of folk are of the opinion, well, they don't have the knowledge to be able to fly it and use it. That ain't the point, Hoss. You can find that out. China, Russia, they'll be more than happy to reverse engineer it and put you a manual together, teach you how to fly it. As long as you're shooting at Americans, oh yeah, hell yeah, why not? Our servicemen and women are going to find themselves, not to mention the Afghani people, are going to find themselves being attacked by the Taliban with weapons, armaments, instruments of war paid for by the American public. Now, you can say what you will about individuals. Well, Clarence, you got to understand, it don't matter who the president is, they're going to do what they want to do, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. Say what you will. I can tell you this. The difference between Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden, if this would have happened on Trump's watch, by Monday morning, everybody would have been fired. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, you got to go, son. National Intelligence Agency, you got to go, Hoss. Go find another job someplace else. Head of the CIA, you got to go, bruh. Your intelligence is nowhere near, that's an insult to the word intelligence. Heads would have rolled everywhere. And this clown, General Milley, he needs to be the first to go. Maybe if you weren't so busy trying to be woke, maybe you could have seen this coming. We got to watch out for the next 30 to 90 days. It took 10. And that kid and his administration are the leaders of the free freaking world. Right about now, I can imagine when Donald J. Trump awakened this morning, went into his master bedroom suite, went into the master bath portion of the suite, and got ready to go through his normal routine, he probably looked in the mirror and said, "Miss me yet? America, you miss me yet?" The inmates have firm control of the asylum. When CNN starts raising hell, well, where's the president while all this is going on? When ABC News starts raising hell, this is an embarrassment. When these folks turn on you, that's a sign, brother. That's a sign. Of course, we all know that the left, agenda-driven individuals that they are, they will eat their own in a heartbeat. I mean, after all, they call black folks schmucks, morons, idiots, unpatriotic SOBs, and the like. Just so you know. Just so you know. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done. Come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy. Too late, Marty, about 2 seconds. And wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. A couple of end notes to today's show. You know, we talked early on about that kid, okay, that the one in T-ball Little League was just horrible, just couldn't hit the ball no matter what. And the harder he tried, the worse he appeared. Remember that conversation? Well, Joe Biden truly is that kid. The very first week in office, you remember, he saw fit to cancel the Keystone XL pipeline, killing jobs, our energy independence, the whole nine. A week ago, he ended up going to OPEC and Russia begging, would y'all mind putting some more oil in the market so we can try to stabilize the prices? It's killing Americans. And of course, Russia and OPEC laughed heartily at him. So what did he do? He turns right around this week and is appealing the court ruling that struck down his ban on drilling on federal lands. So let me get this straight. You killed Keystone XL pipeline, hurting our energy independence, begged folks that don't really care that much about us for some of their oil to try and stabilize prices. And when they blew you off, you then thought the next best course of action was to appeal the court's ruling that says you don't have the power to stop the drilling on federal lands. That's why he is that kid. Secondly, to show you the forces at work here, y'all, big tech and social media, and for that matter, the mainstream media, how they have actively engaged in censoring certain opinions. And we know what certain means: conservative opinions. Here's what should tell you everything you need to know. The 3 top members of the Taliban all have active Twitter accounts. But Donald Trump is banned. If you have one single red-blooded American bone in your body, that ought to piss you off to no end. The 3 top people in the Taliban have active Twitter accounts, but Donald Trump is banned. What else do you need to know? Well, there is one thing. 10655 Corsi Boulevard, Bayou Smokehouse, is the home of Old School Barbecue. It's where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And by the way, the Exiles are up next. I got to go, y'all. My time's up. But this day, just like any other, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's still the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Either way, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves. Let's take care of each other. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.